Alrighty, so I haven't been covering a lot of these extensions on my channel just because I didn't really feel like there was much to talk about. And basically, De'Aaron Fox just got an extension, Mikal Bridges got one, Luka Doncic got one. Quick recap of those good deals. Yeah, bring back your good players. The De'Aaron Fox one is interesting the more I think about it, so I kind of want to talk about it and some of the implications that I think that it has. Initially, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, no shit. Of course, something like this happened. It makes perfect sense. De'Aaron Fox gets the extension. That's why they went and traded for him. They didn't trade much at all to get De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. But when I first looked at the number, I did see the max, and I was like, oh wow, because he got a 4-year maximum, 229 million. And again, those numbers aren't perfect, right? Because technically, he's getting a certain portion of the cap going forward, right? So depending on how much the cap increases over the next couple of years, he could get like I'm pretty sure the 229 is like the maximum he could get or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's taking up the same percentage of the cap regardless. But what's surprising to me a little bit is that he got the max because De'Aaron Fox is a borderline all-star player, right? That tends to be how good he is. He's a very good basketball player, don't get me wrong. Like I said, if you're borderline all-star good, you're a pretty good player. And they didn't give up much at all to get him. It made perfect sense why they went and got him, right? It was solely he told them that he wanted to be there. He put the Sacramento Kings in this chokehold where they had to go and make a deal. They didn't have to give up those Hawks picks or any valuable players at all. They were just able to go and get him. And so they're like, shit, yeah, let's add De'Aaron Fox. Then the Spurs go and win or not win the draft lottery, but they succeed very well in the draft lottery by ending up with Dylan Harper. They ended up drafting Carter Bryant as well. Two players that a lot of us think are going to be pretty solid pieces for them going forward. They also have a Stephon Castle who showed some interesting things as a rookie. They've got a Devin Vassell that's an interesting young player, right? If you still count Keldon Johnson in that category, good for you, right? But they're all kind of around the same position. That's kind of why I'm bringing them up. But De'Aaron Fox, right? There's some question marks about how he fits next to Victor Wembanyama. As soon as you have De'Aaron Fox on the court, he's going to turn any other big men into more so spacers, which, look, Victor Wembanyama can do. Is that the optimal way you kind of want him to play? We don't know, because Wemby had the blood clots. Fox had, I think it was a finger issue, right? That's what he had at some point this year, and then they shut him down because there was no point in throwing him back out there at all. So we don't know much about what these guys look like, but when you end up with like the Harpers and the Castles and some of these other guys that can play similar positions, you go, okay, how necessary is De'Aaron Fox, right? And a full max, it's like, oh wow, that's a lot of money tied up over the next couple years of this guy. And I have a couple thoughts about it right away. So initially, like the common sense in me, right? And this is the overarching theme, is when they went and traded for De'Aaron Fox, his representation almost certainly talked to the Spurs and said, hey, you're going to give us this extension, right? And the Spurs said, yes, we will get you that extension. And that was the handshake deal that allowed the trade to go through, right? That stuff happens with these level of players. That's just how it is. Spurs, pretty honorable organization. Like, I'm sure they had the conversations like, oh, well, shit, like maybe we don't want to pay Fox all of this now or whatever, because maybe Harper will be that guy. And again, we haven't seen Dylan Harper play NBA basketball yet, but we presume he's going to be pretty good. But Spurs, honorable organization. They give him the deal that they signed on to. Very good. Like, that's awesome. There's another part of me that looks at this and just kind of goes, okay, is the pressure being ramped up now at all in San Antonio? Because now you've got like this kind of like max level player on the team. Presumably this doesn't mean that the Spurs enter full contention mode, but clearly you're trying a little bit harder now, because now you're pushing towards like the luxury tax and things like that, right? All the things that mean that you should start being a competitive basketball team. And this doesn't necessarily fit the Spurs typical MO of being like, we're going to build really slowly, right? Build it internally. That's how they always do it. And it always leads to like the long-term success of everything, right? It's a little bit offbeat form in that way. And again, they didn't give up next to anything. It's not like they've got other expensive contracts on the books right now. Like Devin Vassell is a pretty solid deal. I feel like overall Keldon Johnson, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. He's going to fall off the books soon anyway. I don't know where Jeremy Sohan fits into things. Like, yeah, you're going to pay Wembanyama at some point anyway. He's a generational talent. That's just what you have to do. I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation, right? We don't know the fit of it. It's a lot of money. Maybe means this team needs to be a little bit better a little bit sooner. I don't know. And I'm just kind of curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this with Mr. Fox. I can't wait to see them play this next year because, like, roster-wise, they're still not that great. Like, they're still pretty young, and I feel like now, like, Fox needs to have, like, a pretty impressive season. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at it being like, okay, like, is this really worth it, or would we rather have, like, Harper and Castle trying to get on the court a little bit more? I don't know. And we had talks earlier in the offseason, funny enough, where I was like, hey, you should probably try to move Vassell given this current team, because you're probably going to keep Fox in some sort of deal like this, and you don't want to hit the luxury tax any sooner than you have to, because as soon as you hit it, now you're kind of on that artificial clock before you have to blow things up like the Celtics did, right? So that's why I was like, maybe you just move Vassell now and try to avoid it as long as possible. But I don't know. It's just, these are all the thoughts that are kind of going through my head right now. But again, shout out Luka Doncic, shout out Bridges for getting their contracts. I think they make a lot of sense. Luka is skinny now, so good for him. That's really exciting. Can't wait to see him ball out this year. But let me just let me know what you guys think of some of these new contracts and everything, because I don't know. I'm very torn on this. Again, overarching theme, Spurs probably told him he was going to get this, so he got it. They stay honorable to things, but I don't know. It still feels like an overpay. Like, De'Aaron Fox doesn't feel like max contract, and it didn't feel like there was the leverage there. But again, under the table deal, most likely. So, I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys. As always, I have to record another video for you guys to watch tomorrow morning. Okay, bye.